Good morning, my friends. You probably don't realize how much habits are controlling your life because most of us are unconscious of the control they have over us. So I'm sitting here doing my morning routine, and I'm studying from this fascinating book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And I love studying habits. I've been studying habits for years, actually decades to be more accurate. But the fascinating science behind our habits is they get ingrained, so deeply ingrained in us, that they actually are the controlling factor in our behavior and what we're doing without most of us knowing. Listen to some of this here in the book. He says, we might not remember the experiences that created our habits, but once they are lodged within our brains, they influence how we act, often without our realization. So things from what you eat, when you eat, to your penmanship, to your emotional reactions and triggers, to what you see, what you say, people you interact with, how you interact with them. Like so much of our lives, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, spiritually, financially, are all created around habits, and often habits that were created from some experience in our past. We aren't even aware of them, and we aren't even aware that they're controlling. They literally become unconscious. So I'm sharing this as like this wake-up call. Like, how many things in your life are you doing unconsciously? And that are actually, and this is a big part of like high performance coaching and life coaching I do, they're actually contributing to your self-sabotage. I was trying to figure out how to say that. We all live in perpetual self-sabotage. But your habits, and especially your unconscious habits, are contributing to that in a massive way. Listen to this. Habits are powerful but delicate. They can emerge outside our consciousness or can be deliberately designed. And that's the main part of this message I want to share. We have to be conscious, intentional, and deliberate. We have to create awareness around what we're doing and why we're doing it. And you may often find that you don't know why you're doing it. And it's like, why do I keep doing that? And you have to constantly ask yourself, look at every little thing and say, is this helping me or hurting me? It's powerful, right? Even the little things. Is it making me more efficient, more effective, or less efficient and less effective? Is it helping me or hurting me? Look at everything and see why you do it. A lot of us have just picked up things from our parents, from our friends, from our social conditioning, for the scripts we've been handed, right? For these prescriptions we've gotten from society, from society and social conditioning. It's not helping us. And a lot of people are leaving potential and greatness on the table and not anywhere near living the life they could because of these habits that are just rolling along unconsciously. Let me continue here. They often occur without our permission. But they can be reshaped by fiddling with their parts. So like if we set up new triggers or new alarms, new catalysts, new rewards, right? If we shift the reward that we're getting, we kind of trained ourselves to these habits to get a certain reward. If we shift the reward, then we can change the habit. They shape our lives far more than we realize. And they are so strong, in fact, that they cause our brains to cling to them at the exclusion of all else, including common sense. If that is not a warning and a wake-up call for all of us, I don't know what is. I'm going to reread that. That our habits can be so strong, in fact, that they cause our brains to cling to them at the exclusion of all else, including common sense. Wow! My friends, we have to be so aware. Like creating awareness will bring everything back to the prefrontal cortex, right? And away from the amygdala, away from the hippocampus. So it's just reacting in fight or flight or freeze and just going through these things unconsciously. You and a lot of people you know just perpetually are in this self-sabotage, doing things that just block their progress or even dramatically hurt their progress. And we don't, why are you doing that? Why would you do things that ruin your relationships and destroy your health and keep you from succeeding? Why on earth would you continue to self-sabotage? And it's because of habits. So the first step is develop like intense awareness. You've got to be fully conscious of what you're doing and why. And then systematically put in new triggers, new alarms, new rewards, new patterns, and ultimately new habits that are repeated again and again and again until they become part of our life. We have to be deliberate and conscious of all of our habits so that we can be extremely successful. And yeah, I'm being a little intense about this, and I would say you need to look at all the details, even the little things and the little ways you're doing them. Little thought habits and patterns. Little actions you do. What do you do in the morning when you're getting ready? How do you get ready? Why do you do it that way? When you're going to work, when you're going to your studies, when you're going to read or not read, like with your entertainment habits, like look at every part of your life and start picking it apart and seeing which ones are habits. Well, they're mostly all habit based, and which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to replace. And then you start fiddling with its parts, and you can reroute the habit circuits so that you actually then automatically do things that work in your favor, that support you and lead to success instead of sabotage. Wow, man, this stuff is good. This is what I'm covering today in my classes for youth. I do just 2 classes for youth. I want to help them set up their lives for success. And it's called Habits for a Successful Life. Get in those if you're not. And I know tons of you have teens at home now. They're home from school. Get them in these classes. They're awesome. And then, I've got tons of resources on the Extraordinary Family Life podcast. I've got more videos on my website, gregdenning.com, and just tons of resources, you guys. We've got to be deliberate and intentional about designing and creating the kind of life we want, and that life will be established and maintained through habit. So make sure your habits are supporting your success, not sabotaging it. Reach upward.